What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to OzSide Football, your number one place for football with an Australian twist. I'm one of your two hosts, Jaden Blanco. Aside me, the big man Falk. How are you, brother?
Welcome. I'm
Welcome
good. How are
indeed.
you?
I am fantastic. I've had little sleep because I was up all night watching the Euros,
Yeah,
as
exactly right.
as
Exactly right.
everyone should have been as a football fan. This is the first episode of what would be what I would describe as the more long form podcast, where we discuss a variety of different topics. Today we're doing a very Euro based episode, obviously because the Euros are going on. It's the biggest thing in football right now. We just had the final eight. We now know who the final four are going into the semis of the competition. So Harry, do you want to go through what we're talking about today in terms of topics, and then we'll sort of jump into it?
Yeah, definitely do. So, in terms of topics, we've got what our current thoughts on the tournament have been, who we think the biggest upsets and underdogs have been, biggest failures as well. Also, some rising stars who we think like some young guns that have really made an impact and a bid for a bigger club. Um, and the biggest failures so far, and our predictions on the final four.
Sweet. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about our thoughts on Euro 2020. Obviously, delayed a year due to COVID. What do we think about the summer of football that we just got?
I think this is the best thing to happen to football since the 2014 World Cup.
That's big. The 2014
Yeah,
World Cup was big.
bro, the 2018 World Cup just didn't have it.
No, I was
2016
gonna say
Euros
that.
didn't really have a magic about it either. And yeah, it's just been awesome. It's been awesome. Like so many good stories, like heartbreaks, so many underdogs making it through to the final eight, which was awesome to see. And just so many different stars as well. Like it's not what we expected. Even when you look at teams like Italy, like the players you expected to shine haven't really, and the players you would have not, like a lot of people wouldn't have even known have been stars. So
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
yeah, and like there's a lot of kids playing. There's fans back as well, which makes it a
That's a
bit more
big
special.
thing. That is a massive
Yeah,
thing. Just hearing the crowd
yeah,
roar when a goal goes in, like that's a big
yeah,
difference to just like that
exactly.
fake noise you get on the broadcast. Like,
Yeah, and like watching the Hungary games because I think Hungary were allowed a lot more people in the stadium.
mhm.
That was crazy. That was awesome to see.
Yeah,
'Cause
and
it's
they go
been
nuts as well. The Hungry fans go
yeah,
nuts.
yeah, and it was like it's been like a solid year and a half now without fans. So
Yeah, it's good
yeah,
to see that
it's
back.
been
I think
awesome.
I do agree with you. The 2018 World Cup was, I don't know, it just didn't have anything for me. I think the best
Yeah,
thing about this competition that you touched on is the fact that you got teams like France no longer in it. You got teams like Germany no longer in it. Like you have
yeah,
teams like fucking Ukraine in the
yeah.
final eight. Like
That's what I mean.
it's
Yeah,
good to see like these smaller nations who genuinely like they're nations where the players within that team are born there. Whereas in
yeah,
England, you have a Declan Rice who was an Irish player who then opted to be an
yeah.
English player.
Hey,
Like that's
Grealish, bro, Grealish.
Grealish as well, exactly. So
Yeah,
it's nice to see like countries developing their players and then for them to perform on a stage like this.
yeah,
And I do agree the fans make a big difference. I think that's what makes this one more special is because we've been deprived of fans for so long, and then now that the fans are back, it's like it's just so much
yeah,
better watching this tournament. Even as an
yeah,
Aussie, like we have no affiliation. I mean, you obviously have an affiliation to
yeah,
Italy, but I have no affiliation whatsoever to any team in the Euros. But I'm watching every
yeah,
bloody game. Like I'm soaking it in, and I'm just enjoying watching football because it's not
yeah.
Everton.
Yeah. I feel the same about Arsenal and Fiorentina, bro. Don't worry.
As long as I'm watching something that's not
Yeah.
my team, then
Yeah. And I
I'm
think
all
like
for it.
I think when you watch like especially being from Australia, we're the underdogs every tournament we go into
Hmm.
in terms of football.
Yeah,
But like watching like Denmark, Czech Republic, Switzerland, and Ukraine do what they've done.
yeah,
And on another note, like Hungary in that group, like still give it a shot. Like it's been awesome for football. And it's like good for the people watching and kids watching as well that are like want to play for those countries to know that they can go far in a tournament.
yeah, yeah.
Like like especially Denmark, where like that's a crazy
Yeah, it shows that you
story.
don't need to be French, or you don't need to be Spanish, or you don't need to be
110%
from the Netherlands or Portuguese to win something, or to get far in a tournament, or to do any of that, or like even in a transfer sense, to put yourself in the shop window, and you don't have to be from Belgium, or you don't have to be from any of these big European nations. Like, you can do it from the place you were born.
Speaking of our current thoughts on the tournament, what have been your favourite games so far to watch?
My favourite, I would say the Germany-Portugal 4-2.
Yeah.
That was a good game.
Bro. Robin Goosens eat your heart out.
Yeah, that was a game.
What a performance.
Yeah, 100%. That was fantastic. Another, obviously, we have to talk about France-Switzerland being one of those games where I switched on and I was like, I'll just watch it to the end, I guess. And then it just went nuts. Like, that day, that Euro day was
awesome,
crazy. That was nuts. Two, like, back-to-back, 2 games that were like instant classics.
Yeah, we haven't seen that in a long time in tournament football. Like, we haven't.
And I think that as well, that's where the magic comes from, those types of games and those types of match days. And that's something that's been missing, because like teams like France and Portugal and whatever have been so dominant in Euro 2016 and World Cup 2018. Like, it's like these smaller nations coming up and just bloody giving it a go, rather than being afraid. I think that's another thing with this tournament. Smaller nations aren't afraid to go at the bigger teams. And I think that you're seeing that a lot in this tournament, and that's why you got like a Czech Republic beating a Netherlands. It's because they were not afraid to go at Holland and then just be like, you know what, we're here, we're gonna bloody go at you, and we're gonna see how it goes, type of thing. And I think that's why these nations are here where they are now, because they're just giving it a go, and that's what it's all about. That's what international football is about. You can't buy players, you can't transfer players in. You get what you get, and you just go for it.
You get on with it.
Yeah, that's it. You go for it.
Speaking of a team that gets on with it, my favourite game. Yeah. Look, I've been watching every Italy game, and it's easy to say like Italy, Switzerland, Italy, Austria. Like, we've been putting in masterclasses left, right, and centre. But my favourite game, watching it live as well, was Denmark, Russia. Like, it's easy. It's I could easily
easy
go,
pick.
oh yeah. Yeah, but like I could easily go like Switzerland, France, whatever. But like watching that game was like knowing what Denmark needed to do, and then also I was switching over to watch the Belgium game because Belgium needs to put a few on Finland, and then you just stand there and you're like there's no way this is happening. And then before you know it, Christensen arriving at the edge of the box, and it is a thunderbolt.
That is a worldie.
Absolute thunderbolt.
Speaking of worldie, Patrick Schick's worldie, by the way.
That game was good. That game was very good.
Game. I feel like that goal set the tone, because we got some worldies. Yeah. So far. Yeah. Like some absolute cracking goals.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw it last night, but you see I can't remember who finished. Dolberg finished it, but the cross to Dolberg from Joachim Meyler.
The finish from Dolberg was class.
Yeah. But that cross is like, that's what makes that goal unbelievably like another level. Like that cross, Travella outside of the foot, across all the defenders.
Crazy, nuts. Even Insigne's goal yesterday.
Yeah.
Far out.
I think I was saying it to you. I can't remember who I was saying it to, but like everyone knows Insigne's right-footed. Why are you giving him that much space on the edge of the box at full pace to hit on his right foot?
Why? But
what
it was
hit,
wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy hit.
Speaking of games, biggest upset. What's your thoughts on the biggest upset of the tournament?
I gotta say it, France getting knocked out by Switzerland. Like, how do you get a 3-1 lead just to become complacent because we're France?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It just showed character in that game. Switzerland had the balls to just they got 3-1 down and they were just like, we're not giving up here. They make it 3-3. They go to pens. They win on pens, and it's just like, that's balls.
Yeah,
that's like real balls. And the fact that France got knocked out, I feel like it's just a case of them being like, oh yeah, we're France. We won the World Cup. We're the world champions. Who are you? Type of thing.
Yeah.
And that sort
a
of
bit of arrogance.
Arrogance, exactly. And it makes sense, right? You look at the players that have Benzema, Griezmann, Mbappe, Kante, Pogba, Kimpembe. Like, they got class players.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. Like, if you got players like that, then you might have like a head of steam about you. But to go into a knockout game, be 3-1 up, and to throw that lead away just because you're getting complacent, like, that is the biggest upset. Because everyone picked France to win. You look at everyone online and all the videos and people talking about the Euros. No one.
It's an easy pick, bro.
It's an easy pick. But that's because
Cup.
they're so good. Their depth is crazy.
Yeah.
That they have in that squad, and it makes sense. It's an easy pick, and everyone thought they were gonna win it, and to lose in that fashion, and I feel like that's the main thing, to lose the way they lost. Although it was on pens, the fact that they allowed that comeback, the fact that they lost on pens as well. And for your big player, your star, Kylian Mbappe, a pen like that was an awful pen. It was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. But at the same time, like, why is the kid? First of all, why is Benzema and Griezmann off the pitch?
Yep.
Second of all, why is the kid that already has the world on his shoulders? Why are you putting him on fifth pen? Why is he not on third? Why is he not on the fourth? Why do you have to put him on fifth? Like, I'd never really have known Mbappe for being a clinical penalty taker. I know Pogba is a clinical penalty taker.
And they put him first, didn't they? First or second?
Yeah, which makes sense as well.
Yeah, you get one on the board.
I honestly don't think they expected Switzerland to win the shootout.
No, and I think it's that arrogance again.
But watching the game, like because the cameras panned out and you saw both teams talking to each other, France looked so depleted. They didn't even look like they wanted to be there. And then you just see Xhaka and all the Swiss boys just fired up, coaching stuff, every single, like, this whole circle so tight-knit. And Xhaka's got veins in his neck, like he's screaming at him.
He's yelling,
Yeah. And they look so pumped up to win it. So pumped up.
Well,
you could kind of tell.
Well, you would be.
Yeah.
Especially after what you just did.
Yeah.
You 100% would be.
Yeah. But also, who have been the biggest underdogs in your opinion? Speaking of
what about your upset? We'll do your upset.
My upset, I was going to go with Switzerland against France, but sticking with France, I've gone with, they didn't make it out of the group, but I think Hungary against both Germany and France. They had a home game advantage, but they did it without Dominik Szoboszlai. I could have just butchered his name, but I'm sure people know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Salzburg boy that made his way to Leipzig, of course.
Uh-huh.
They did it all without him. And I can't say I knew a single Austrian player besides Gulashi and Orban.
Nope.
That was there. So, like, I thought they put in a monstrous effort. And historically, Hungary actually quite a big footballing nation. But in the last 20, 30, 40 years, they haven't really been that good. But I thought that tournament was something they can really, really build off. Like, they can really, like, be proud of themselves for how they performed in the group of death. To leave with 2 points.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
Put Portugal, Germany, and France in a position where they're actually scared on the final day that Hungary could make it into the third slot. I thought that was monstrous. Like that, I haven't seen it talked about much, but I thought it was a monstrous effort. And that by far for me was the biggest upset. If North Macedonia got a win, that would have taken it.
I'm just glad that North Macedonia was there.
Yeah,
it's just great.
But that was vibe. That was just great.
Vibe. I think. Even continuing on from upsets, I think that whole group of death was an upset. Yeah. None of them are here.
Oh, yeah.
None of them are still here.
Yeah.
And everyone
that's actually crazy.
Yeah.
That group by far got the most attention, and then none of them are here.
Nah. The whole group of death crap, and none of them are even in the final four.
Yeah.
That's a big upset, especially with all the media attention that group got. It's just...
None of them were in the 8.
No. They didn't make it past the 16.
Yeah. Right.
Whatever.
Nuts.
All right, underdog. All right, did you want me to do... We're doing teams for underdog, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
You can include a player as well, because I think your player that you mentioned earlier is a great shout.
Yeah, all right. I'll do my team, and then you do your team, and then I'll do a player, and then you do a player if you want to do that. All right, so obviously we got to talk about North Macedonia.
Yeah.
I want to talk about North Macedonia. I was going to talk about Denmark, but I can leave you to talk about Denmark if you want to.
Yeah, beauty.
But North Macedonia for me, the fact that they qualified and the fact that they're like just there and they're vibing.
It's actually a huge achievement.
Yeah,
actually
for a nation like North Macedonia to be there, like that's huge. That's massive. And I think that the fact that they're there and they don't go into the competition being like, we're gonna make it out of the group, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. They was just sort of like, this is a big thing for our nation to be here. Let's just soak it all in, the 3 games that we have, and just vibe. And I fucking love that. I love that so much. Go on.
Yeah, I thought it was fitting as well with Pandev.
Yeah.
Like, Pandev has always been the one North Macedonian on the scene. Now there's Elmas who plays for Napoli, but like, just for him at the age of 37, getting to go to a major tournament for them was just awesome.
Exactly.
Like, it was honestly awome. And if you follow Serie A, you know Pandev's like a legend. Like
he's one of those guys.
Yeah, 2010 Inter, bro. He was Mourinho's like baby boy. Like, he was Mourinho's favorite in that team, and
100%.
Yeah, he's like a legend in Italy. So it was sick to see him get that send off for his country.
Yeah, I know, especially on a stage like that. It's another one of those things, right, that makes this tournament so special. It's the stories. He's just another story in this whole sort of thing, in this whole tournament, that just makes this tournament so special.
Yeah.
All right, your underdog. Tell me about
my biggest underdog by far. I feel like everyone kind of like put them in there, but it's been Denmark. The way, obviously, the Eriksen situation is very sad, but the way they picked themselves up. First of all, the fact they played that game hours after it happened is shocking. That is shocking.
That's if we're talking about any criticisms of the tournament, the fact that they played that game, couldn't you just schedule it on another day?
Yeah, just leave it.
Yeah, or just say it's a draw.
Yeah,
give them a point, both.
Yeah, but like, it's so I feel like there's 2 ways you can go about that. You can either pick your head up and go, all right, fuck, we're in the trenches here, or you can just go like whinge about it and just whinge about it and whinge about it. I didn't hear much from Denmark. I heard some of the I heard Peter Schmeichel talk about it, but his like everyone wants to hear what he has to say about Denmark clearly. So but they just got on with it, and a special shout out to one player that's picked up the pieces in Eriksen's absence. His name's Mikkel Damsgaard. Plays for Sampdoria. If you've watched the Denmark game, you know who this kid is. Like, he has been rapid. He's dribbling, he's passing, he's like chances created. And also around him, like Joachim Mæhle picking up the pieces.
Oh God, he's had a tournament. He has had a tournament.
And to say the least, like Simon Kjær, Thomas Delaney.
Thomas Delaney.
Yeah, Holberg as well, like have just been like just animals. Animals. Like Delaney this morning had a cracker game as well.
He did. Yeah.
But I think like it was easy to say Denmark would make it to the 16, but I didn't really think anyone expected them to be in the 4.
No.
However, I'm not surprised. The way they've been playing is very fluid football. It's very wide. It's very attractive. And Dolberg being at the top has been like it's paid off very well for them. Club-wise, he's struggled since he left Ajax.
Yeah, I was going to say Dolberg's one of those players that was the next. He was going to be his dad. Everyone was expecting him to be his dad. Left Ajax. Where is he at now? Is that Nice now? Is he? Nice, yeah. And he just hasn't got into that level yet. But this tournament, I feel like this tournament is going to be a big confidence boost for him.
Yeah,
mainly because
same goes to Patrick Schick.
Yeah.
Same goes to Patrick Schick.
Because they've been given the opportunity to represent their country on this massive stage. And the pressures of that, and being the striker of Denmark or the striker of Czech Republic, like, that's massive.
Yeah. I completely agree. And he's like, Dolberg is like put away a few now. And he's just been really good up top, like bringing in the midfield into the play when he's the only one by himself up top. Just stuff like that's been awesome to see. But yeah, I feel like Joachim Mæhle and Damsgaard have been absolute animals in the absence of Eriksen. And we all know, like, some people may say, oh, maybe Denmark don't go as far if Eriksen's not there because they're not inspired. I call bullshit. And I say if Eriksen was here, they would have nailed the group.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, they would be a lot harder to beat.
Yeah.
That would be
100%.
so much harder to beat. Like,
Yeah,
Eriksen's
although
a world-class player.
Damsgaard has been very, very good, Eriksen is their talisman.
Yeah, 110%. But saying that, like, I think England are going to struggle against that Delaney-Holberg midfield, man.
We will get
clash.
to that towards the end. There's a little tease for towards the end of the podcast there.
And who's been your biggest underdog?
My underdog player, Jordan Pickford. Obviously,
Yeah,
Everton fan. Shout. I have to talk about Jordan Pickford. Everybody was slewing him. Everton fans, England fans, just anyone. Especially because of the whole Van Dijk thing or whatever.
Because they wanted Henderson to play, didn't they?
Either Henderson or people were saying Nick Pope is England's best goalkeeper. But credit to Gareth Southgate, he has stuck with Jordan and he has come up with the goods this whole tournament. He has kept 5 clean sheets in 5 games, which is he's the only player to ever do that in the Euros history, to get 5 clean sheets in the first 5 games. So he has been part of that England defense that hasn't been breached yet, and he's been instrumental in what they've been doing in the Euros, especially with his communication and especially with how he wants to sort of drive the team. Like this morning when I forget which player it was the Ukraine striker. He went in
Yaremchuk.
Yeah, after a Kyle Walker mistake, a misplaced pass, and he was just yelling, just berating his defense. And that sort of character and I guess as well as that sort of knowledge that you have a guy like that between the sticks. And I think that breeds confidence for that defense. And again, keep in mind, he wasn't even bad for Everton. He was probably one of our best players this season. He kept a lot of goals out and he didn't make really any mistakes. So for him to go into this tournament and people saying, oh man, England fans saying, oh man, we're going to lose because Jordan Pickford's in goal. Why aren't we starting Nick Pope? Why aren't we starting Dean Henderson? He's just shut everyone up. He's been the biggest, one of my underdogs of the tournament so far. 100%.
Yeah.
What about you? Who do you have as an underdog?
Mine plays for the same country. Mine, by far, is one of the most unfairly criticised players in the whole of the world, and it's Raheem Sterling.
I was wondering whether we're going to talk about Raheem.
I think, credit to Southgate again. I've said it time and time again. It's not coming home. They'll most probably get clipped when England win it, but it's not coming home. But credit where credit's due. I have thought the whole time he should be playing Jaden Sancho. Sancho's a baller, and which he did this morning.
Yep.
But Sterling, I don't know about you, but before the tournament, the talk was about Mount, Grealish, Sancho, Rashford, Foden, and I think there's another one that I'm just not forgetting. But obviously in Kane up top, right?
Oh, yep.
But that's 6 that Sterling wasn't even. Yeah, Sterling wasn't even considered in the situation.
No.
Southgate stuck with him. Bear in mind, Sterling's had some great seasons at City as well.
He just had a poor season.
Yeah, but he's improved dramatically from when he was at Liverpool to City.
Oh God, yeah.
And I feel like he's one of City's best hopes as well. He gets in some great positions in that box area for them.
He just needs to finish.
Yeah. Well, he's not known for clinical finishing, but by God, will he has he got pace to burn? And that goal, that Kane scored, that header. That little Sterling in the halfway pass again, short, Kane, goal. Yeah. That was awesome. That was awesome. And as well, same as the Croatia goal, Sterling just in the right place, right time. I think
he scored all the goals for them, really.
Yeah, and Sterling's been picked on by English media for years. And I don't know if you know, but he's got the gun tattoo on his leg.
Yeah, I do know that.
It's a tribute to his uncle, I believe. And bro, they were saying that incites gang crime and all that shit.
Yeah, I know. It's all bullshit. Man.
Yeah, or it's so highly criticised by his own country's media, not necessarily the fans, but he's proved to be one of their best players. Arguably the best. I think he's been a massive underdog. Obviously, he's not going anywhere from City. But, I think Sterling's had an awesome tournament, and it's been good to see. It's been really good to see.
You think of the players he's keeping out of the team.
Yeah,
and
that's exactly right.
That shows you how good he is. Like, people pick on Southgate for being like, you're too loyal, you're this and that. Like with Jordan Pickford and Raheem Sterling and all this sort of stuff. But his choices and who he picks in the team have come good. They're in the final four, and that's more than any English fan could have probably ever thought they were going to do in this tournament. And you take Sterling out of the team, what do you have? Like, you argue that England wouldn't even make it out of the group stage because Kane wasn't doing anything. Didn't score a goal till Germany.
Took him a few goes, but he scored again this morning. He scored two, I think.
Scored 2 this morning. So, like, without Sterling, that English team is not doing anything this Euros.
No.
So, definitely a massive, massive underdog for England. What do we got
on the
next?
opposite end of the spectrum, who's the biggest failure of the tournament? I think we all know who the biggest by far is, in terms of what we expected from them and what their players achieved at club level this season.
Yep.
I'm sure. Did you want to talk about them?
Oh, do you want me to talk about Turkey? Did you?
Yeah, bro. That's been bad, man.
Oh yeah, they didn't record a point.
A goal.
Oh, a goal. Yeah, nothing.
A goal. With all due respect, Switzerland and Wales. Switzerland have proved to be a great team this tournament. Same with Italy. But you should be scoring.
Yeah, at least one.
Should be scoring.
Especially with someone like Burak Yilmaz, scored 16 goals for Lille this season, a title-winning Lille.
Yeah.
And that's your guy.
Same. He was part of Lille as well. He had a few goals there.
You're meant to be banging in the goals for your country, and everyone expected Turkey to make it out of the group at least.
Yeah.
I saw people saying that Turkey would either be second or get in from a third place finish.
Yeah.
But not fourth.
Yeah. Not without a goal.
Yeah, not without a goal and not fourth.
Yeah, I got a great friend called Arda who's Turkish, moved here a few years ago. But he was saying to me, when Turkey went before the tournament, Turkey had been getting big results against big teams, right? Turkey had a style of play. As soon as they get to the tournament, they went to like a counter-attacking type of just a complete different style of play, and they didn't end up scoring a goal from it.
Yeah.
But he was saying, like, typical Turkish, they got the mentality of, like, they got so far ahead of themselves leading into the tournament that they forgot to just nail the basics. And watching Turkey against Italy, he's so true. They just were shocking. Italy just ran over them. Like, it looked like a training game. It looked like a training game. It looked like all versus the 21s.
That game in particular just looked like, did they forget how to play football?
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly what it looked like. It's I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It's like a professional football team coming up against like an under-12s.
Yeah.
Like,
it was bad. Yeah. And you look at the quality of players they've had and the seasons they've all had, but clearly it's not.
Yeah, like that Turkish team, like Çelik as well from Lille, the right back.
Hakan.
Yeah, exactly. Like they have some fantastic pieces in that squad, and it just, I don't know why they just didn't play the way they did.
Not to mention the defense in Soyuncu and Demiral. They are animals.
Yeah,
they're animals.
Yeah.
Like, Soyuncu's great in the Premier League.
They're big lads as well, big physical lads, and
so it shocks me, bro. Shocks me. I couldn't believe it.
And they have two good keepers as well in Kakir and Bayindir, and both of them are very capable goalkeepers that have done well in the Turkish league. Yeah, exactly. And they couldn't keep a bloody goal out.
Yeah.
Like, man.
What do you do? You move on.
Look, you can't do much, Turkey. I'll see you next year in the World Cup.
If they make it. That's the thing, bro. Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't know if they go back to that style that they had before, then
it was working. They were knocking the big boys.
Exactly.
They were shaking it up.
Whatever you did, just don't do it again. I just don't think the style suited the players.
No,
I think the players
and like Yilmaz is a freak, right? Freak in nature. Even when he's been playing in Turkey, everyone knows how capable he is.
Yeah.
But you don't play counter-attacking football with a 35-year-old up top, unless it's Jamie Vardy. One exception to the rule.
Yeah, exactly. You're really gonna play balls in behind defenses for a 35-year-old.
Yeah, that looks like a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
So I didn't get it. But personally, my biggest failures were three: France,
Oh,
Netherlands, and Portugal.
yep. Do we
I
put
thought they were
Germany in
all.
that
I
mix?
thought they were no, because Germany. I felt Germany played a lot better than Portugal at the tournament, and they versed a good England. And the most unlikely of persons to miss the chances was Thomas Muller when it was
Oh,
1-0.
that one he missed after the Sterling
Yeah,
mistake. Like how?
yeah. And if he scores that, it's 1-1. It's a different game. Maybe
Yeah.
Germany goes through, but England capitalised. Good on England. But I don't put Germany in that mix because Germany left on like they actually played good football at the tournament. I felt like France. I felt like Netherlands played all right in the groups, but
Denzel Dumfries, man.
Yeah,
Denzel
we'll
Dumfries.
get to the rising stars in a second.
Oh boy.
But yeah, like Portugal, I thought were abysmal. I thought Portugal was shit.
They
Personally.
were fucking awful.
His language, yeah, but
like
France,
Ronaldo was scoring the goals, he was assisting the goals, but the pieces around him.
Like where do Portugal go when Ronaldo's done?
Exactly. Are you really going to rely on João Felix? I get it, he's young.
Yeah.
But if he's your next guy, that's not a next guy.
No, the team needs to be well more oiled machine all round.
Yeah.
I thought one thing that showed me how dumb Portugal were, bro, was João Cancelo got injured. Right? A smart person knows we're versing Germany. We're versing wing backs, Kimmich and Goossens. Everyone, like, Atalanta have been a freakish team playing three at the back the way they have. Goossens has been instrumental on the left side of it, right? Goossens is going to be on the left. You put any logical man would think, I reckon Ricardo Pereira should play right back, right?
Pace,
because
ability to get up and
defend.
down.
He can defend. It's not about the attack. It's we have to nullify these wing backs. If let Ronaldo, let Diego Jota, let them all do their attack. We need to nullify these guys. And he puts Semedo on Goossens, and Goossens had one of the best backs.
Semedo cannot defend. We saw it for Wolves this season.
Semedo
cannot. Yeah, he can't defend.
Save his life.
No, God no. Or another one you just said, Diego Jota. Where the fuck was he?
Yeah.
Like
he had, I can't remember what game it was. He had one good game, but besides that, he was just like, what are you doing? Where was Bruno?
I think Bruno was coming off the bench. Like he wasn't even starting.
Yeah.
Like
it was shocking. I can't blame the players for the Portugal performance. I think the coaching was shocking. I think the
tactics, the team selection. Like you're really gonna the amount of goal contributions that Bruno makes for Manchester United, and you're telling me you're not starting him with Cristiano Ronaldo in front of him
behind. Yeah.
Yeah, like what is happening? Like what is that Portugal team, man? Like what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like next year Ronaldo's a year older and you still have all these pieces around him.
Ronaldo will be like 36, 37 odd next year, won't he?
No, I think 37, 38.
Yeah, I'll just fact check that quickly.
Yeah, but like that Portugal team is not getting any younger.
Yeah, come the next tournament next year is 37.
Okay, yeah.
So that's scary because that's in reality that most probably will be his final tournament.
Yeah, and he's a freak of nature. Like the fact that the man is doing that at the level he's doing it at the age that he's at is that's next freakish level. He's just freakish. But like you got to put the pieces around him in order for him to not just like his contributions mean nothing to Portugal because they didn't do anything.
Yeah, 110%.
Did absolutely nothing.
I thought France was shocking. I think France got a bit of arrogance about them against the Switzerland game, of course. But on another note, Netherlands should be doing better.
Yeah.
They have a young team.
That Netherlands team is young. Young, exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. And Daniel Marlin, everyone, is happy to blame De Ligt for the Czech Republic handball. But literally less than 30 seconds before, Daniel Marlin burst through his one-on-one with the keeper. If he puts that away, De Ligt never goes into that situation.
Exactly.
But that's Daniel Marlin's a kid. Like he's literally a bit older than me, like us. Yeah. Like he's a few years older than us. So, it all come together. Like obviously Frankie and De Ligt as well.
Yeah.
And there's a few other players in there like Dumfries and a lot of Dutch. The Dutch league just produces every single time.
Yeah, like as a nation, the Netherlands just talent.
Yeah.
Just buttloads of talent, and I think that maybe not next year in the World Cup. I don't think we're going to see the best out of them next year because I feel like that's too soon. But I feel like the next major tournament, whatever that may be, we'll see a Netherlands team that are scary. And the fact that they're playing Stecklenburg in goal.
Yeah.
They need like Stecklenburg, man. Like,
he did alright this year though, because he come in because of the Onana drug charges.
Yeah.
He did alright. Yeah, as an Everton fan, you'd know
as
about
an Everton fan, Stecklenburg, come on, man.
But saying that, Big Verge, bro, I think next year there'd be a great shout. Like, Big Verge is
coming back.
Ridiculous. Yeah, so he's an animal. So, and Genie won out him as well. Like, there just was a lack of experience mixed with the youngsters, I feel. That's what's like big about Denmark.
Yeah.
You have those youngsters, but then you got Delaney, Simon Kjær, Schmeichel, and Holberg in the mix, which helps guide them. So
I think that the Netherlands, since the fact that they're such a young team, they didn't know how to deal with a little bit of the experience that they were coming up against, and they didn't know how to maybe not handle the big stages, because of course they play for clubs where they're on the big stages all the time. But I think that playing for your country is a different story. And I think that, for example, like a Granit Xhaka in Switzerland, like telling players what it means, what the game means that they're playing.
To that country.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
because
everyone watching.
Holland is a massive nation. There's so many people watching Holland from all around the world. Yeah. And that's a big stage for those people to be on and to represent. And I just don't think they had the experience to guide them through that. Besides Stecklenburg.
Yeah. But they'll get there, bro. I think they've done well.
They will.
I don't think they played horribly. Watching them against Ukraine and Austria in the group stages was awesome. They were great games, especially the Ukraine game. That set a tone for the tournament. Like, let's attack here. Like, let's not just everyone sit back and try and win 1-0.
They were fantastic.
Yeah. But speaking of, the Dutch and Denzel Dumfries, as you mentioned, let's talk about rising stars.
Boy.
I'm sure we've both got a few we can mention. I think the two most obvious in the tournament are Locatelli and Alexander Isak. Yep. But for anyone that watches football across Europe, you surely know about both of them already, especially Isak coming off the season he's had at Sociedad.
He just signed a big extension with Sociedad.
Yeah, which is interesting. But Sociedad have a great director of football, and they are making real moves. They've got, I forget his name in the midfield, Marino. Used to play for Newcastle. Obviously, David Silva, Illaramendi, and they're just building. Yeah, and they're building. So I feel like that's a good sign of intent from that club. And then Locatelli, obviously, as we've talked about in terms of where he could be going, but everyone in Italy knows about Locatelli. But I feel like they're the obvious ones, but some of the non-obvious. Did you want to list off some of yours?
Yeah. I'll do one first. I got to talk about Jeremy Doku. Now, if anyone plays Football Manager, you know all about Jeremy Doku before everyone knew about Jeremy Doku. He plays for Anderlecht in Belgium. Just a raw talent, and we saw that on display. Even though they lost the game, we saw, and I think that's a lot. Really down to the way Belgium wanted to play, but we'll get into that in the final 8 discussion. Jeremy Doku just put himself in the shop window for a move to a bigger club and a pay.
He's at Stade Rennais already.
He's at Stade Rennais, is he?
Yeah.
He signed last season, did he?
Yeah, for 26 million on October 5th, 2020. Yeah, because I thought I'd seen him there. That's why I looked it up.
I thought he was on loan there. I didn't know he signed there.
Yeah.
So he's there.
Yeah, it says he's there. Yeah, it says he's there.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, insane. Even though
he's still on the market.
He's still on the market, and I feel like you look at Belgium and you look at the players they have, and everyone's talking about, oh, what's De Bruyne doing, or how many goals is Lukaku gonna score? And the fact that they came out of this tournament and everyone's thinking about Jeremy Doku, and how good he can and will be, like. For me, that's crazy, and I think that with Belgium, and I'll quickly talk about it. The fact that they just wanted to sit deep and counter against Italy, which by the way is not what you do against Italy, and I think he suited that. I think that his overall
as an attacking outlet,
as an attacking outlet, his pace and how well he is with the ball technically, I think he worked really well, and that's why he sort of stood out in that Italy game especially. But I think across the whole tournament, like he's a crucial piece, and I think that Roberto Martinez putting faith in a young guy like Doku in a big game against Italy.
Especially because Martinez doesn't change the squad much.
No.
He doesn't like to.
And as an Everton fan, I know all about that.
Yeah.
All about Roberto Martinez not doing shit.
Yeah.
But Jeremy Doku, that's one of my first rising stars from the tournament. Do you want to give me another one?
So I had I forget his first name. No, I don't. His name's Ruben Vargas. He will be remembered from this tournament for his penalty miss. He didn't really have crazy stats in the tournament, but if you watch Switzerland play, he was a cracker player. Yep. He plays for Augsburg. But I just thought watching him, I was like, wow, this kid's actually like quite special. And obviously, like hearing a name Vargas when they play for Switzerland's going to like
it's a bit interesting.
Catch your attention. It's going to catch your attention. It's like Ben Brereton playing for Chile. Yeah. So like, you know, I was watching him, and I was just the way he dribbles, passes the ball, and finds like space in between the lines. I thought, that's a player that's going to make a bit of a difference. He's very young. I think he's 20, I believe.
Is he?
He's 20. No, he's 22. But at that time, like being 22 in a major tournament for a team that goes the distance that far, I think as well. And I mentioned it before, but Damsgaard is by far my favorite rising star.
Is he?
At Sampdoria, he's only had a goal and assist at this tournament, but if you watch Denmark, his
it's not all about like
is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not all about the numbers on paper. Like
the stats aren't always going to show.
Nah. His work rate and what he does for that team in the absence of Eriksen is that's crazy. So, crazy shoes to fill as well. Massive shoes to fill.
Yeah, but no one asked him.
No,
like that's the thing. No one. Well, not that we know what's happening in the Denmark camp, but no one said in the media, this Damsgaard kid's got to step up. No one even thought about it. Here he is at the age of, I think he's 20 as well. He'd be 21, 22. Like him just stepping up and going, like, I'm going to take this by the neck of it and I'm going to go for it.
Yeah.
And here they are, Final Four.
Yeah, exactly.
So Damsgaard, I think, and obviously there's a few more that we may have missed, but I think who's yours been?
We'll both do one more each, and then we'll get into our final 8 and final 4 stuff. My next one has got to be Patrick Schick. Patrick Schick this tournament has been absolutely mental. I think he set the tone for his tournament when he scored that worldie in the group stages. Like that was the tone setter for what he's gonna do this tournament. Plays for Bayer Leverkusen, and I think that
great club.
Yeah, fantastic club. And I think that a lot of people are just going to look at him more. And I feel like Leverkusen, especially if you look at Leverkusen's squad, you have players like Leon Bailey, Diaby, Florian Wirtz, Bellarabi. Exactly.
Florian Wirtz, he should have been in the Germany team. He should have been.
He's great. He's young, but he's great.
Havertz regen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they both came from the same club.
Yeah, man, he should have been there. But I completely agree. Leverkusen are a great club.
They're a fantastic club, and I think that this tournament just solidifies like how good he can be. Can he translate it to club football? We don't know just yet. We haven't seen it, but at 25, he's going into his prime. So I think that this tournament will just give him a massive confidence boost. Definitely a rising star.
Yeah.
Do you want to give me one more?
Yeah, you mentioned him earlier. I think Denzel Dumfries has had a cracker tournament.
Oh God! that name makes me excited.
Yeah, I think he's had a cracker tournament, and I think if you've played FIFA, you know who Dumfries is. You just know who he is right back. But he played in a very advanced position, and finding him in the position he found himself in an attack, I was shocked. Like, wow, that's a sick. That he gets it. Like he understands what his teammates are doing. Like where he was ending up on the edge of the box in the midfield, you're like, he reads the game so well.
100%.
And obviously, when you're in the Netherlands, the Dutch league, I feel the Dutch league could easily be better than Ligue 1 if they start keeping and retaining their players a bit more. So I don't know if he'll move necessarily because Ajax, I think a few years ago, really inspired the rest of the nation to be like, hey, we can return
we can
to
compete.
what we once were.
Yeah.
Especially domestically, like PSV, Ajax, Feyenoord, the big three, but Alkmaar as well are a good club. So I feel like he could stay, but if he goes any club that plays with an attacking fullback, wingback situation, first that comes to mind is Atalanta. Yeah, well, first that comes to mind for me is Atalanta. So Fiorentina, if quick 40 million wouldn't go Australian Dumfries, but we've spent our 20 million, so we'll just look for free agents now. But yeah, like Dumfries would be awesome, bro. But yeah, he I think he was he was a diamond in the rough for that Dutch team.
Oh god, yeah. I don't think anyone expected him to do anything.
Yeah, I think he just was on the team sheet.
Yeah, he was just there.
But come the last game of the group stage, everyone's like, Dumfries is killing it.
This is the boy. All right, let's go. Let's bloody do it. Let's review the final 8. Let's talk about
get into it.
What we just watched. Do we want to start?
We'll start with the Azuri.
Yeah, go on, go on, mate.
The motherland. What else is there to say? It's a masterclass. It is.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna get Belgium, bro. They're a mad team. Like KDB, I know KDB was battling an injury, but
but
that Belgian front line is actually a madness. Like that is by far the best front line I believe in world football on its day, and I think we just didn't let them have a look in. I know the scoreline was 2-1. But if you watch the game, you'd be like,
the game is a completely different story to the scoreline. You look at
Belgium's defense played very well. Belgium's defense had a great game.
My problem with Belgium's defense is that you're putting two guys, Alderweireld and Vertonghen.
Fucking Vermaelen, bro. As an Arsenal fan, I don't understand how he's playing at the Euros.
You're putting those guys on Italy.
Yeah.
And you're telling them, and the way that they played the game, Belgium, is that they sat back, they tried to soak up the pressure, and then play counter-attack.
If you divide the pitch into thirds, right? So, 1/3, the middle third, the back third. I didn't see Belgium get out of their third, back line. I didn't see them push up anywhere near halfway.
No.
And I thought, you are, like, as an Italy fan, I was cheering, but with Chiesa, Insigne, Immobile, and the midfield we had as well, like
Nicola Barella.
Yeah, Barella loved it. Loved it.
Yeah,
like he's
stupid.
Yeah, and you could see when we were getting balls into the box and they were clearing it. This is how the Barella goal came. Ball comes in, Chiro. I'm not condoning it. What a flop for what he did. If you saw it, like
it's so funny, but just him on the floor and then the celebration, and then he's just running. That's amazing.
Funny. Yeah. But like Barella, you can see the midfield just slowly make their way in between the Belgian midfield and the defense. Barella gets the ball, does what he does. He's dribbling.
Exactly.
He's like you can't really touch him. And the finish is just immaculate. So I think, I thought it was a bloody masterclass from us. We haven't really had a game that scared me except for Austria. Austria actually that gave us a real shake-up. But I feel like we needed that before we versed Belgium.
Yeah, well, I just think Belgium got it wrong. Like Martinez just got it wrong. And
but time and time again they've got it wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
This golden generation of Belgium should have a trophy.
Sure. 100%. It should have already had a trophy.
Yeah. Sure.
But tactically they're just getting it wrong. This Italy team, this tournament has been so free-flowing, so attacking. Their players are just playing out of their skin. And you're telling me you're going to make Thomas Vermaelen soak up the pressure?
Yeah.
Like,
I think players like Cabasele, bro, they should be really having a shout for the centre-back position at Belgium.
They need something because those centre-backs cannot deal with an Italy team like this.
110%.
Not a chance. And you don't play counter-attacking football against Italy.
No.
Like, what are you doing? Especially if you know your defense is like that. Why are you doing that? It makes absolutely no sense from a tactical standpoint, and from Roberto Martinez to do this. And obviously, as a suffering Everton fan, I know all about his tactical frailties, and he's I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. His decision making and how he sort of chooses to set up and play the game. It just baffles my mind to play that.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that like Dendoncker didn't play centre back. Denaya didn't play, and there's another guy, I can't say his name, I've just looked him up. He plays for Cologne in the Bundesliga, and his name's like Bornau. So it's BORNAUW. And yeah. He's actually like, I remember looking at a Bundesliga like review of the season, and they said like out of Cologne, he was one of their best players. So I just feel like he needs to change. Yeah, he needs to change
his
something in that back line.
That back line needs to change
some of the tactics. But I felt like besides Vittel, we didn't really have much problems with getting around that Belgium back line. But on to the next game. It's easy to talk about Italy for me. Yeah. I think what do you think?
Man, I like Switzerland a lot, especially what they did to France. I like that team. I like the spirit I like the spirit that they came in with. I like the underdog mentality that they sort of had, and they just put it all out on the pitch. And I just think, unfortunately, it just wasn't enough against the Spain side that I don't think are that good.
Nah.
I don't think
Spain.
But
they're getting it done. They're getting it done.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they get the own goal in the 8th minute, and then Shaqiri scores a goal in the 60 whatever.
Yeah.
And then they go through the extra time, and in pens, Switzerland only scored 1 pen, and you can't do that in a penalty shootout. Yeah. Like you just can't.
I thought from a person who's watched plenty of penalty shootouts, I thought it was kind of a bit daft to go with the same 5 they took with France, because that would have been so heavily studied by the Spanish goalkeeping camp. I thought it was a bit daft on their behalf, but also the penalties were shocking.
Yeah.
They try to do like the Jorginho Pogba effect where they walk up and then they slot it. I feel like at some point you got to realize like sometimes you just got to fucking hit the thing.
That's what exactly.
That's what Olmo did, bro. Olmo and Moreno. Olmo, I was saying to my dad, Olmo steps up. Everyone's taking shit penalties. Olmo steps up and just bang. Just nailed it. And it changed the tone. Yeah. And from there, you knew Spain were going to win it. From there,
you're professional footballers. You can hit balls hard.
Yeah.
And you can direct the ball wherever you want to direct the ball.
Especially with a penalty. Unless the keeper's getting a palm, if it's hitting like these areas here, it's still most probably going in.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I just felt like but I felt like the Swiss played well, considering Frula got a red card in the 80th minute-ish,
something
maybe
like
a bit
that.
before.
Yeah. To play with 10 men and all that sort of stuff.
And they didn't play bad at all in the extra time. So I feel like the Swiss, like, they can take a lot from it. But I feel like the good thing about Switzerland that not many people talk about is they didn't depend on Shaqiri this tournament. While Shaqiri played well, it wasn't dependent on Shaqiri.
Yeah. It wasn't like he's the guy that...
Yeah.
Like, any team could just be like, yep, Shaqiri, let's do whatever to stop him.
Yeah.
And then
I felt like they all played well. That's why I mentioned Vargas earlier. Ebola as well. Like, they all played well. Yeah. So I feel like Switzerland got a lot of take from that, and I see them qualifying for the World Cup.
And then I feel like they do well in the World Cup as well, especially coming off of this tournament.
On to the next game. We'll leave the coming home for the last one, the Danish versus the Czechs.
I like this game.
What were your thoughts?
I really like this game. It was close. It was like one of those games that was on a knife edge, I felt. Like, especially with Denmark going 2-0 up, obviously, 5th minute, Thomas Delaney's goal. And then you had the Kasper Dolberg goal just before half-time. And then for the Czechs to come out of half-time, Patrick Schick, of course, the main man.
Yeah, great goal too. Just good finishing. Yeah, nothing spectacular, but it was great finish.
Yeah, and I think it was just one of those games as a neutral, you look at it and you watch it and you're just like, man, like, this could go either way.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just really like both teams. I really like. I feel like Denmark just has something to prove. Like, whatever that is, they have something to prove, and I feel like that's what got them over the edge with this one. It's just that they have to prove something, and as we've said this whole podcast, they have something to prove, and they're a scary team.
Yeah,
what did you think?
Agree. I thought that I feel like I sound like a broken record. Dolberg, Joachim Mæhle, and Damsgaard, but Joachim Mæhle is the difference here. He's that ball to Dolberg is actually like you're on one. Like you're that, bro. Quaresma's the only bloke I know that does Travellas like for fun, and this bloke in a game that means the world to his country
just does it.
Any bloke just turns around and passes to their fullbacks or their centre backs, defensive midfielder. Nah, fuck that. I'm putting the ball across all the centre backs to Dolberg's foot as a Trivella. And I just thought, like, I think the Dane have got something to prove. And I think, like I said, bro, that mix of Delaney's like class. I don't want to say world class, but like Simon Kjær's class. Yeah, very good. Like a very good player. And Holberg on his day is actually world class if you've watched Tottenham.
Yeah.
Right. So also Schmeichel, we all know, is a top 10 keeper in the Prem, even top 5 on his day. He's class. So I feel like they've got that with the mix of those young guys and players like Joachim Mahler, and then obviously Dolberg, Damsgaard, and a few others in there. So I feel like they've done well. And I feel like the Czechs could have done better, but I think they should be so proud of themselves for the way they've performed in this tournament.
No, 100%.
I think everyone was happy that they got to verse each other rather than they verse big nations and both of them not make it. It was good to see one smaller nation make it.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. The fact that the Czechs got this far to be in the final 8 and no one expected them to do, maybe 16, but not make it this far. I think that it's the smaller nations coming up and just giving a real good show. Yeah,
but I think that the Danes as well, man. That they have other players there like Braithwaite and Poulsen. I couldn't remember their names. I was thinking about them, but I couldn't remember them. I just looked it up. And also at centre back, Christensen. How could I forget? I already mentioned him. But yeah, that team has got it together. That back three as well of Vestergaard, Christensen, and Kjær. So I think they played really well, and they have played very well after that Finland game. But the Final Four will be a challenge for them. But they've done it before. They've won the Euro, so who knows? But before we get to the Final Four,
we got to talk about it's coming home.
It's not coming home.
It's coming home.
No, I said before it's going to Chernobyl or Rome. So I'm 50% down on it, but I still believe it's coming it's coming home to the motherland.
It's coming home.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on the game?
So obviously, Harry Kane scores 4th minute, and by the way, that ball from Sterling
was ridiculous.
That is. Yeah, nuts.
It almost looks accidental when I watched it. It looked accidental, but when you watch it in slow-mo, you're like, yeah, Sterling has clearly got the intention of putting the ball in that area. Yeah.
Like, absolutely crazy ball.
I think before we get to the 4th minute, there was something that happened before the game that shocked me. Sancho starting.
Okay, yeah. We'll talk about that.
I thought, look, why he gets to start after he signs with United? I don't know.
Gareth Southgate doesn't watch anyone else but the Premier League.
He don't watch the Bundesliga. So, but I just thought that before the game, I was like, all right, like this is interesting, sign of intent, and just a different approach. Obviously, getting into the 4th minute, Harry Kane scores, and come the second half, the big slabhead gets his head on the ball.
Big slap.
Ukraine looked like they dropped their heads.
Yeah, after that second goal went in, they dropped their heads.
Yeah.
To give credit to Ukraine and to sort of criticize England a little bit, after that Harry Kane goal went in, they just didn't do anything.
Yeah. Yaramchuk almost got that goal when...
Yeah.
Was it Walker?
Kyle Walker.
And then, gave the ball away, and Stones actually defended quite well, in my opinion. But yeah, I think Yaramchuk could have scored there. I would have changed the game.
Exactly, because... You score that, so England scored that goal. Harry Kane scores a goal. It's 1-0. It's the 4th minute, and you're telling me you're already gonna just sit back, soak up pressure, and then just what? What are you gonna do? Defend for 85 minutes? Like, what sort of game plan is that? And then from the 4th minute, like the last 15 minutes of the first half, Ukraine, they look like scoring. They're playing really, really well, and they look like scoring. And
I think Maguire's header just kind of just knocked it out of them. They were like, fuck. Yeah. We need 2 goals here.
Yeah. And I feel like that, as well as that, just opened England up, because I feel like second half, just domination. Although Ukraine gave up, just domination. Like they were doing whatever they want to Ukraine. And Harry Kane scores the second, and then Jordan Henderson scores his first goal for England as well. And it's 4-0, and I feel like that...
Yeah. I was going to say, it's been interesting seeing Henderson not even play, and Rice and Calvin Phillips have the trust to hold the midfield.
I would say they just have the trust more than anything.
I gotta shout out one player whose deliveries have been the best at the Euros. Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
His deliveries today. Right. And the other day as well, his delivery in the Sterling. Like he's just so good.
He's really picked it up as a player.
Yeah, he's come back to like that Southampton, what we saw at Southampton like 5 years ago. Like we've come back to like see what that turned into, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Like we were all watching a future star, and here we are. Like he's here now. We didn't know. At one point we thought there's no way he's going to get to it. We thought he'd end up in the championship, but yeah, God, man, his balls into the box are deadly. The one to Slabhead was unreal.
Oh God, yeah,
like
yeah.
That
was just pinpoint
unreal.
delivery.
Yeah, and the Ukrainian boys are big boys. Like Slabhead's not a big boy compared to the Ukrainian boys. So
no,
I thought that was I thought Shaw deserved a shout out, and I think Sterling, as we've spoken about.
Of course, yeah,
Sterling.
Just that ball, man. That for the first goal, that ball is nutty.
Yeah.
Like
that's one of the better goals at Euros.
Takes out like 5 players?
Yeah.
One ball, like just absolutely crazy. And yeah, I don't know. It's for me, it's gonna be. Well, do you want to do Final Four now? We'll start with England. Do you want to start? We'll start with England.
So we've got England versus Denmark.
England, Denmark, and then Italy, Spain. Italy, Spain is a final.
Yeah.
You've played 2 finals, or you're going to be playing 2 finals back to back.
Let me put it this way: as I'm half Italian. For anyone listening, you've most picked that up. But I don't want to verse Denmark.
You want to verse England?
I want to verse England.
Yeah.
I want to break every English person's heart. I don't want to break a Danish heart. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be responsible for breaking the Danish hearts. I want to fucking bro. I want to go to England in an Azuri jersey and just fucking walk around the streets.
Oh boy.
Walking in Millwall. But no, I think Spain's actually going to be a hard game, bro. I think Spain's going to be a hard game. Yeah, I think Spain haven't been playing like the Spanish football we knew them for when Iniesta and Xavi and Busquets were running the hell. Busquets
but they can't.
Shout out to him.
Busquets is still there, but they can't. They don't have the players for it.
No, but you just like no one's putting attention on Spain, and it shows that's like they have no pressure when they play. No. They have no pressure. No one's expecting them to do what they're doing. Sarabia has been definitely a talisman for them. He's come up with some big goals and big moments, but I feel like we can dispose of Spain, so to speak of. But yeah, we've got Spinazzola injury.
That's a big one.
So, I feel like Emerson should be sweet. I don't see why Emerson wouldn't be a very similar player, to be honest. Yep. Play left mid, plays left back, and like as if you've watched Chelsea, you know Emerson's a very capable individual. But yeah, I feel like Spain would like Morata knows how to play on the Serie A, so he knows how to play against Chiellini and Bonucci. He trained with them for bloody 2 or 3 years at this point. So that could be a problem. But yeah, I feel like I don't know. I feel like that defense just isn't going to hold out Ciro, Insigne, and Federico Chiesa.
No, especially with the way that Yous play and the way that Spain play. I feel like your constant press, your constant attack, it will just nullify because they want to play it slow. They want to have 5 million,
like to slow it down to what they want.
5 million passes before anything happens. Yeah. And you're just not going to let that happen. Especially with your midfield, Verratti and Barella.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
With Jorginho in behind who can put in a big tackle, like a big tackle. So, yeah, I completely agree. And Barella will cause problems to the Spanish boys. But saying that, you know, Spain can do it. They can do it.
They can.
They got some experience in there. And they got some good young players.
Where they don't have any pressure.
Yeah, they don't. Like, no one's looked at them. And I remember thinking about that coming into the tournament. I was like, Spain don't really have that. Like, because Ramos, I feel like maybe would have highlighted a bit more pressure, but there's no Ramos. There's no Carvajal. Just kind of like, oh, Spain are there. But, you know, they'll make final 8. They'll make final whatever. They'll go far, but they won't win it. But here we are.
They don't have that early to mid-2000s sort of glow about them.
None of that expectations. And if you look at the front line of, like, people don't watch the Bundesliga, so they don't know who the fuck Dani Olmo is. If you watch Leipzig, you know who fucking Dani Olmo is. Like, he is a weapon. Yeah. He's exciting to watch. And Sarabia, everyone should know by now who Sarabia is. Great player. And then Morata obviously is like Timo Werner with the finishing, but fuck, he's like I've said about Timo, I'll say it about Morata, gets in the positions, which is scary.
Yeah.
You'd rather a striker that can get in the positions than a striker that can finish, but from that doesn't get in the positions. Because Morata opens up opportunities. That's what it is for the rest of the players around him. So, but saying that, our front line, like Chiro, Insigne, Chiesa, with Barella and Verratti.
Insigne running at that defense, if I was a Spanish fan, I'd be scared.
Yeah, but Pau Torres and stuff have been playing all right. I'll give it to him. Pau Torres has obviously come off a big win at Villarreal.
Yeah.
But I feel like, Italy, Spain is another final. Like you said, Italy, Spain's another final.
It's another final that you're playing.
Yeah, but we should be sweet. But you know what? It's hard to say, but I think Italy will win. I think it'll be a 2-goal difference, maybe 3-1 or 2-0. But what are your thoughts leading into the game?
Yeah, I was sort of just echoing more of your points. It's just that I like the tactical differences between the teams. It's going to be interesting to see if Spain can play with more pace or with more fluidity, if that's the word to use. Like if they can sort of, they can't do what Belgium did. No. They can't sit back and then just try to play.
You got to play your own game against us.
Yeah, exactly.
What Wales did, and Wales gave us a decent game. Same with Austria, played their own game.
Yeah, although Italy is a very exciting prospect and a scary team to come up against in an attacking sense, you can't just let them attack because you're not going to nullify them. And I don't think that Spanish defense nullifies them any more than what probably Belgium thought their defense was going to do to Italy either. I see. I don't know. I see. I'm going to say 2-1 extra time.
Yeah. It's a good
2-1 extra time.
Yeah, they'll go the distance.
And then Italy will go through.
Yeah. Leading into the next game.
It's coming home. It's coming home.
It's going to fucking Copenhagen. It's going fucking home. What makes it home? That's my question. What makes it home? What have they done? Bobby Moore, eat your heart out. One World Cup. What makes it home? Not even the Euros to speak for it.
No. I think it's like 1960 something since their last one.
Yeah, bro. What makes it fucking home? It pisses me off. Anyway.
I just like the meme. It's just a meme for me. It's coming home. I don't know. For me,
I've got so many people messaging me about it, like it's coming up because they know I just get the shits. I just go, no, it's going to Chernobyl or it's going to Rome, but now it's going to Copenhagen. I think
it's going to Copenhagen.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope so too.
For football's sake.
Oh, for football's sake. Yeah. Well, let's talk about Denmark. Let's talk about Denmark and their chances against an English side that has crazy attacking talent, a very solid defense. How did Denmark go about that?
Well, the beauty about the Danish, so you could call it like a back five. It's not a back five. When I say back five, I mean the 3 defenders and the 2 central defensive or central midfielders. So you got Delaney and Kier that play Europe, like Italy and Bundesliga. Then you got Holberg, Tottenham, Vestergaard, Southampton, Christensen, Chelsea. So they're not too foreign to playing. It's not like if we play England, we've just got Italians that play in the Serie A in the back of that. These Danish players have got players playing in England versus these guys training with these guys week in, week out.
Yeah.
So I feel like that could work to Denmark's benefit. But I feel like at the end of the day, it's 90 minutes. And the way Denmark have been playing and how inspired they've been, it's anyone's game. Obviously, that England attack is something else. But saying that, like, I think Denmark have been relying on balls into Dolberg in the air. Stones and Maguire, I don't think that'll happen. They'll change something. I think maybe Damsgaard comes in behind him a bit more. Braithwaite maybe comes in a bit more. Like left forward, right forward type of thing.
I feel
if I got to say, if Damsgaard gets onto that ball that Walker gave away to Stones, with all due respect to Yaramchuk, he's fast, but he like picks up speed. Like the acceleration isn't there. Damsgaard's gone. Like he's around Stones. Slabhead's not catching him either. So that sloppy shit could be a downfall for England. But yeah, I feel like Denmark have got a lot to prove. They'll stick with the 3 at the back. So it'll be a 3 at the back versus 4 at the back.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. I hope they stick to their game plan. I hope they don't compromise themselves too much just because they're versing one of the hot teams in this tournament.
Yeah, I think that you made a good point where Denmark can't rely on balls into the box because all day Slabhead's just gonna just header it out all day.
Yeah.
All day long, and you can't do that. And I think that
Harry Maguire's great at defending balls into the box. It's when he gets taken 1-on-1 that you're like, he looks shaky.
Yeah, well, that's what because the way that England played this morning is they played with a back four when at times it turned into like a back five of sorts because you had Declan Rice coming back in. And being like a third centre backs, having Walker and Shaw pushing up, and then it was like a front five at times.
Yeah,
with all their attacking players.
The wing back's an interesting position.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that so you look at it right, and you have Slabhead, Stones, Declan Rice. Let's say they're your three players that are playing
central defenders. Yeah.
Instead of balls into the box, you play balls in behind the defense, and that defense is not catching a Damsgaard.
No.
That defense, it's not catching any players with any pace.
Yeah, I imagine Dahlberg will have Maguire.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine. I imagine they put Dahlberg on Maguire and or they put Dahlberg on Stones and let the small guys like Braithwaite and Damsgaard run at Maguire. Or they start Yusuf Poulsen, who is more than capable. Who is more than capable of producing in big games.
Yeah, I feel like he might be a shout mainly because of the physical presence he brings. He's a bigger frame than Braithwaite, and I think that they're going to need that against Slabhead.
Yeah.
More than anything. But I think this game is, from a tactical standpoint, it's about what Southgate does. And if Southgate just reverts to type, they get run over.
Yeah.
They get absolutely run over from a Denmark side that has something to prove with just bundles of confidence. And you can't just rely on Harry Kane to play CDM and then score a goal on the other end of the pitch in the same move.
Yeah.
And you can't play the ball out from the back, and you can't interchange 50 passes between your three centre backs and then expect something to happen. This Denmark team is not going to let that happen.
Yeah. I think more interestingly is England's left side have been the problem. And I see, like, as we saw this morning, Myler actually played on the left. But I feel like Myler, he was a right back when he played in Belgium before Atalanta signed him, moved him to the right mid. But I feel like that left side, they'll put Myler there in front of Christensen, and they'll have Kjellberg there, and that's different. That's a dangerous triangle of defense, like Holberg, Christensen, and Myler. Like, I feel like they'll be able to do a decent job on Sterling, Kane as well, and Shaw.
And Shaw, 100%. And you look at England's run to the finals. England's run to the semi-finals has been Germany. Fair enough, Germany are a good team.
Germany was their best opponent.
But then you have Ukraine. And Ukraine, all respect to Ukraine, is not going to give you a problem when you have Sterling. When you have a Luke Shaw.
Ukraine just put like 8 behind the ball this morning. Tried their best to just put heaps behind the ball. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then you look at Denmark, 4-0 against Wales, and then they won this morning against Czech Republic. I would argue that they've come up against harder opposition, not only in the group stages, but for who they are type of thing.
Yeah, and obviously the Ericsson situation, man. They've got something to prove. It's something that you can't no stats.
It's an intangible.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
perfect word. Yeah,
a lot of English fans are getting excited, saying it's coming home over a 4-0 over fucking Ukraine.
Yeah.
When in the group stages they scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
In the whole of the group stages. In the whole of the group stage with the attack that they have.
Yeah.
And fair play to them.
They beat goal, but that was different gravy.
Yeah.
That was a hit. You dream of that as a kid.
Oh, yeah, but it never happens. You airball it as a kid.
But, I completely agree. Ukraine 2 goals. And
then even that Germany game that they won 2-0, that was on a knife's edge as well.
Yeah, Germany should have done better. Germany will go back knowing they should have done, Germany will go back on, we should have done way better there.
Yeah, 100%. So I think this game will be down to Southgate. If he can maybe not play the way, I don't know. I don't know if play the way he did this morning is going to get it done against Denmark, but they can't be this like, we're going to sit back and we're going to soak up all the pressure, and then Harry Kane and Sterling are going to bring it up the pitch and we're going to score a goal off a Luke Shaw cross or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't, man. You can't do that. I think this game's going to be perfect for a Jack Grealish. Someone who can get on the ball and, creative guy that can make things happen. Didn't even get off the bench this morning, I don't think.
No.
So
England have almost got too many to choose from.
Yeah, and I think it's an embarrassment of riches, and I think eventually it's just going to be like we got knocked out by Denmark because Southgate wanted to play Rashford, Kane at CDM, Sterling, and then just hope for the best type of thing.
Has Rashford played a minute?
Yeah, he has. I'm pretty sure he has. He was starting on the left-hand side. Has he not been?
Maybe he played against Croatia.
Yeah.
Honestly, can't remember, bro.
I don't remember him doing
Rashford
anything.
Hasn't been playing that much. Well, I haven't remembered him doing a single thing.
Nah.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
Give me 1 sec. I want to look at these minutes.
It's been the Sterling show this whole Euros, and they although Sterling's been playing out of his skin, he can't do it all against Denmark.
No, a very well-oiled side, like a well-oiled machine.
A very well-oiled team, tactically knows exactly what they're doing and how they're going to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. For this England team, it's just down to Southgate, really. Can he produce in the big moment? And statistically, in a semi-final in the Russian World Cup, they didn't. Against Croatia.
Exactly right.
So I don't know. I'm gonna still stick with it's coming home. I'm gonna say 1-0 England. 1-0 England. 1-0 England. It's coming home.
I'm gonna go bold. 3-0 Denmark.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'll put the $5 on it as well.
Interesting. All right.
3-0 Denmark. Masterclass. Dolberg hat-trick. You've never seen anything like it before.
Oh my god. Dolberg.
Yeah, I'll be so wrong with that one, but I'm just gonna put it out to the universe just in case.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, and so what you're predicting in England?
Italy final.
Yeah. Well,
and you're predicting an Italy-Denmark final.
Yeah, Italy-Denmark for me.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up the first episode here.
Yes.
A very good hour-long chat about all things Euros 2020.
Yeah, so it definitely was. I've loved it.
Definitely was. It was good fun. I hope you guys at home enjoyed watching and listening to this. If you guys did, make sure you leave a like.
Follow on Instagram at OzSide Football.
Yes. Facebook.
Same with TikTok, Facebook,
and
Twitter.
Bloody everything.
Yeah.
Just do it on everything. Comment down below who has been your rising star of Euro 2020 so far. We'll read the
bring a UE boom to football training and put the podcast on and go
That's
for
it. That's
all you got to do.
Alrighty, we'll see you guys next time. Oh, make sure you click subscribe. That's the main one.
Bye. Ciao.
Me and Lil J, we Scotty MJ. Bashing the rock, we hitting the fade. Pull up in a whip with 21 babes. Here come the bastards, 21 days. Gun you, boy, I know he's a waste. Baby, I know that you want a little taste. I know you want all the bass in your face. Brand new bag and brand new nails. Me and Lil J, we Scotty MJ. Bashing the rock, we hitting the fade. Pull up in a whip with 21 babes. Here come the bastards, 21 days. Gun you.